Hi, it's Alec Keefe. I have Arden here for my audience member. It's my speech on ineligible drivers. Have you ever been running a little late to that important meeting, or you're on the way to the airport, knowing TSA is going to take an hour, years to let you through, and somehow when the situation happens, you get stuck behind an elderly man or woman, or even, as my dad likes to say, a jackball. This always happens, and at the worst time, and then you miss that flight or meeting. There needs to be a stricter set of rules and laws to prevent those unwarranted drivers. And even though myself as a 20-year-old, I've only been driving for a small amount of time compared to others, through my 5 years of driving, the immense amount of individuals I've seen behind the wheel that are ineligible to drive is large. Even though I've had a few basic incidences of causes from ineligible drivers, such as missing a flight or meeting, a more serious turn of events could very quickly turn to broken bones, torn ligaments, ripped muscles, or even worst, loss of a life. This is the cause of ineligible drivers and on the road, and it's due to many reasons, most commonly found, unfortunately, in the increase of age, of how a human body changes over time. The age can affect your eyesight, muscles, and what people overthink is the mental stability of your well-being. According to NHTSA, the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, in 2020, the death count nationwide for car accidents was 38,824. And even though it's common knowledge that young drivers who are 24 years old or younger are the large risk of common fender benders, studies brought from the article, "What Risks Do Older Drivers Pose to Safety Traffic" by the RAND Corporation, they stated how older drivers 55 plus pose a relative probability of fatal injury 573% higher than adults, which is ages 24 through 55. And in comparison, younger drivers ages 16 through 24, they create a relative probability of fatal injury only 44% increase of adults. So it's 500 compared to 40. And New York Times has brought to light that the death per capita rose 17% since the summer of 2019. An accident can cause not only physical damage, such as broken bones, torn ligaments, etc., but they can create an overlooked, lasting mental damage as well. One accident can easily set a whole family back, as well as create massive issues for living and job status. These issues can be improved, but there are so many loose ties and shortcuts through the legal system that make it easy to renew a license, as well as they don't fully inspect these people that they're giving their license to. Firstly, the structure of gaining a driver's license is relatively nonchalant, which is unsettling. To only take a short written test to get your permit, as well as to simply avoid that test once you turn 18, I think it should be changed. There's no organization having people retake their driving test until the age of 70, when in an article, "How Vision Changes Your Age" by Gary Heating, it states how once an individual reaches just the age of 40, their body starts processing presbyopia, which is when the lens in your eyes starts to lose the ability to change shape. The only sense of checking that the government does to make sure that you're safe to drive between you gaining your license in 70 is simply you got to pay that fee at the DMV, or in some cases, you just got to go online and then they'll send it right to your place. And that's according to the DMV webpage. All these overwhelming statements of issue can be worked upon. Of course, there will never be a time where everyone is perfect, but we could do our best to get as close as we can. We need to incorporate more driving tests from ages 25 plus, because there isn't a requirement to do so. Not only eye checkups, but muscle reflex tests as well as mental wellness checks. Most people don't know that they are having an issue until someone points it out, which can prevent reoccurring driving wellness checks. Check your friends and family and keep an eye on them. Ask if they're feeling all right. Because not only you could save them, you could save them from hurting other people as well. The increase of car accidents is at large, and it's due to the ineligible drivers, and without action, the rate of deaths resulting in car crashes will continue to rise. Car crashes ruin lives, not only lives, but families all around the world. A large portion of these fatal incidents result from these older individuals who gain issues with their sight, muscles, and mental well-being, while mostly unknowing of their disability as well. With simple wellness checks and reoccurring driving tests, a large amount of these car accidents could be decreased. Well, just under 2 weeks ago, I was in an incident where I was 1 foot from losing my life, and I'm so fortunate that I didn't break a bone or anything, but I was in an incident and it was from an older individual, and it could have been easily solved if we had these wellness checks, making sure that people that have their license for a long time, making sure that they're still good to drive. So do me a favor, check people around you, see if they're good, make sure they're doing wonderful. Thanks for listening to my speech, and have a good one.